Day 956 of the cut, it feels like. My God, I'm actually kind of getting tired of cutting. I like the feeling of getting leaner. I like the feeling of seeing all the new cuts and veins and striations in like my chest and shoulders and my abs. But man, I really want to get back on the bulk. I really just want to get huge. I want to build so much muscle, dude. I feel like I really can as well. Oh my God. Every lifter has this temptation. We all go through the phase of, do I bulk or do I cut? I'm too skinny to cut, but I'm too fat to bulk. So what am I going to do? Everyone has that kind of mindset. And, throughout this cut, I've never really felt super hungry. And yet I've been losing weight pretty steadily, like at a pretty good rate. And my strength has not gone completely out the gutter. So you can see here that in this video, literally the video you're probably looking at right now is my 100-pound incline dumbbell press. And I have not pressed the 100-pound dumbbells in like probably a month at least, maybe even 2 months close to. I've not pressed 100-pound dumbbells on incline in probably close to like 2 months, maybe like a month and a half-ish. But considering I haven't done that, getting 8 reps is actually pretty solid, especially for the fact that I'm on a cut. And usually the main area of strength that is first to go when you're cutting is your chest. So the fact that I can still get 8 pretty good reps with the 100-pound dumbbells, pretty much like full range of motion. I'm getting some pretty decent control at the bottom as well. Like, I think that's pretty good. Before I was just like bouncing it around and I wasn't really going full range of motion either. So the fact that now I'm going pretty much full range of motion, getting a really good stretch at the bottom, just goes to show that I made a lot more strength gains throughout like this bulk and cut phase than I did in the past. I'm actually really happy with 8 reps. The second set was around 7 reps, which is obviously makes sense because, you're weakened from the first set. But 2 sets of the 100-pound dumbbells, I felt good about that on the incline bench. I really just wanted to go more meatheadish today. I really just wanted to push around heavy weight today. And you know what? I got the best pump I've gotten on this cut probably by just going completely heavy and just training like a meathead. I love training like that. It's my favorite way to do things. So I'm glad it's actually working better for me. Also, you'll see here that on the second set of the 100-pound dumbbells, I superset with like this, I don't even know what it's called, like cross chest, I don't know what it's called. You grab the dumbbells, you go across your body, squeeze your chest. It only really works as a superset, as a standalone exercise. I'm not the biggest fan unless you have really good mind-muscle connection with your chest. But the main reason I did that is because I didn't get my target rep range. I didn't get 8 reps. So since I got 7, I went ahead and did a superset with that just to drive more blood into the area. And then I dropped the weight down to the 90s and just bounced that around for a few reps. You'll notice that when you're on a cut, at least for me, that I tend to fatigue no matter what the weight is. I tend to fatigue at around 8 to 10 reps. And you can see here with the dumbbells, whether I was doing the 100 pounds or the 90 pounds, I fatigued at around 8 reps. This is in part because of the fact that I'm weakened from the 100-pound dumbbells, but also with the 90s, I was just a lot weaker. I feel like that's just the endurance that comes with cutting. You have less ATP in your system, so you're unable to like push through and do like sets that are closer to 40 seconds to a minute, which is what we're going for when we're building muscles. So that's kind of why I threw in the supersets there. Also, just a little update. Throughout this summer, I was not taking many rest days, and throughout the day, I was feeling super lethargic and like really, really tired. It wasn't the kind of tired where you just want to go to sleep. It was more like I literally had no energy to do anything. I had no drive to like get any work done. I was just completely dead for like most of this summer. And as I mentioned in previous videos, I'd only taken like 4 or 5 rest days the entire summer. So it just occurred to me like a few days ago that like, okay, these headaches, this exhaustion is coming from the fact that I'm not taking any rest days for like weeks at some point. I understand that a lot of YouTubers can kind of encourage the fact that you don't really need rest days. Like Sam Sulek encourages it. Not to say it's because he's just not natural, but not being natural is literally like the best recovery you can possibly get. You're literally giving your body hormones that recover your system a lot easier. Your CNS can recover a lot faster when you're on gear than when you're not. And gear just enhances your speed of recovery. So if someone's natural like me, it's not the same taking no rest days. You need rest days as a natural because your natural body system just cannot keep up with rigorous training. If you don't feel like crap after not taking a rest day for a week, you're probably not training hard enough. And since I was feeling like crap and a lot of my workouts were pretty much just carried by caffeine and pre-workout, it goes to show that the main reason my pumps weren't the best during this cut wasn't because I was cutting, it was because I was not taking enough rest days. So from here on out, I'm going to take more rest days. 2 rest days a week is probably the sweet spot, maybe 1 if I'm really feeling it, but it's probably going to be 2 rest days a week. Like I know for a fact that tomorrow's leg day is going to leave me in a state where I really need a rest day. I might push another session after that, and then I'll for sure take a rest day. So you just got to be smart with your training. It's not all about the training, it's about the recovery, because you grow when you're recovering. You don't grow when you're in the gym. So the workout here, you can see my second exercise is this iso chest press machine, 3 plates on, which as you know is like the max that I did during the bulk. So this is just going to show you that I am still building muscle despite being in a calorie deficit, which is completely ideal. I'm very happy with it. And it's just making me want to think, like, if I went into a surplus, I could double these gains right now. But I'm keeping it down. I'm trying to get super lean so that when I bulk, my body will just suck up these nutrients like crazy. Cardio right now is around about 30 minutes a day, plus a little bit of a walk. So whatever, like 45 minutes to an hour of like low intensity cardio. Just burning a lot of calories. That's why I get to eat around like 2,800 calories a day. And right now in like almost 3 weeks of cutting, actually pretty much 3 weeks of cutting, I've lost about like 6 or 7 pounds. Obviously, half of that's like water and glycogen from the first week, but you get the point. You'll see here that on the last set of the iso chest press, I do a drop set, a double drop set actually, and this absolutely killed my chest to the point where now going to chest flies, I was already kind of demolished, but obviously you got to have some kind of fly movement in your training. It trains the chest in a different kind of way than pressing does. It really helps you get a wider chest compared to pressing, which helps you get a thicker chest. Obviously, we want both of it. So here you'll see the angle of my chest flies is a little bit different. The weight was pretty heavy, so it kind of like pulled me back. I feel like everyone runs into this problem. They should have like a foot stand there so we can like put our legs on it and like push against it so we don't fall back. But that's just me being me. I think it's 42.5 pounds here. It's like almost half the stack. For chest flies, that's pretty good. Yet, and again, as I mentioned, you'll see the angle is different here. It's not like the straight kind of variation that I was doing. People will say this trains your lower chest, but the angle I'm moving my arms is the most important thing, and I still managed to somehow hit my upper and my middle chest, which just goes to show you that, again, it's all about your arm path and the angle that your arm makes. That determines what part of your chest you're training. So I do a bunch of drop sets here as well. The last set, I do a kind of like a double drop set, where on the last portion, I'm kind of like doing these flies where I'm pushing downwards. Pump cover comes off on this last set as well. I didn't want to take it off. This is like the first day of the entire freaking summer. That was actually like somewhat hoodie season, but it would not fly in this gym. It was still pretty freaking hot in here. I was sweating like crazy, so I just took it off and went with the flow. Posing after chest, because the pump was absolutely crazy. Like you can see my chest is really full in this posing session right here. Obviously, I don't look the leanness because of the lighting and just because I'm not that lean right now, even though I've been cutting for like 3 weeks. Lines and cuts and striations are still kicking in a little bit. You can see my chest is like starting to get striated. I'm starting to show some veins. Shoulders are looking pretty decent. I really just want more cap delts. Side chest, again, really impressive pose. Look at the fullness of my chest here. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. That's a pretty thick chest right there. But yeah, posing went pretty well today, despite the fact that I have quite bad body dysmorphia. I think I just got to understand that natty training takes forever to actually grow. I got to understand that I don't have Chris Bumstead's genetics, so that is what it is. Anyways, a different angle of posing here. I look pretty big, but pretty soft here. I kind of like the look. It's not the best. Obviously, I could get a little bit leaner. I could get a lot bigger. But hey, for an 18-year-old natural bodybuilder who's been training for 3.5 years, I'm pretty happy with the state I am at right now. Obviously, that changes by the day. Anyways, triceps. What am I doing for triceps? Simple as hell. I grabbed the 2 ropes. Why am I using 2 ropes? Because the squeeze at the bottom with these 2 ropes is absolutely immaculate. Do not knock it till you try it. I used to think this was stupid and that people were wasting both of the ropes in the gym, but this is literally like the best tricep exercise. My triceps are melted just from this exercise. It is absolutely crazy. So try it out if you haven't already. The squeeze is crazy. Emphasize that as much as possible by pausing. And I follow that up with, on the last set of this exercise, the 4th set, I actually do a single rope and I do the angle a little bit differently. So instead of emphasizing the squeeze, I'm emphasizing the stretch. And then next, I do overhead extensions, emphasizing the long head of the tricep, which I'm now beginning to feel separately than the other heads of the triceps, which is showing increased mind-muscle connection, which is always great. And I feel like triceps are the main part of my body that I need to bring up. I say arms, but it's mainly the triceps. Biceps are pretty good, but I still want more triceps. Obviously, I want more biceps too, because who doesn't? So 4 sets of the tricep push down with the rope and 3 sets of the overhead tricep extension. Last exercise, since everything was pretty much taken, I just said, whatever, I'm going to go do dips. And it felt great. Every set I did a superset. You'll see I put on the assisted machine and I continue. If you have more in the tank, don't just stop there. continue till you have nothing left in the tank. And so I did 3 more sets there, and that was that for chest and triceps. 5 sets of calves like I usually do when my calves aren't sore. As you can see, they're starting to grow a little bit. Like, they're starting to pop out of the skin a little bit. I've been going crazy with the calf training, so they're starting to grow. But anyways, that is it for this chest and shoulder workout. 30 minutes of cardio once again today, plus about a 20-minute walk. So we're doing good on the fat loss. And I don't really have a goal weight, because weight is a difficult assessment of body fat loss and things like that, because weight just fluctuates naturally. It could be gaining muscle while losing fat and things like that. But I feel like 190 is a good weight. I'm around 4 or 5 pounds away from that. Probably in September, I'm going to start bulking again, just because I really want to grow. Like, I really want to grow. Just because I'm natural doesn't mean they're a guy that I'm like a super big guy for natural. Like, I'm absolutely not. There are guys in natural shows. There are natural guys that I know that will kill me in a bodybuilding show. So we just got to get back to work. Hope you enjoyed the video and hope you learned something. I shall see you tomorrow for leg day.